Good morning, motherfuckers. I'm gonna go with motherfuckers, so good morning, Joe. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Sal. Good morning, Jeanette. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Catalyst Woods. Good morning, Rhoda. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Natalie Jane. Good morning, John. John, how? Yeah, I did just see. Did see it. Absolutely brilliant. So, but she'll never be heard of again. Raducanu? Is that how you pronounce it? I think that's how you pronounce it. Well done, Emma Raducanu. So, but yeah, will she ever do anything again? Didn't we have a British girl not so long back do something at, I don't know, get into a second round or something, and we were claiming she was the next biggest thing? Where's she now? She's just fucked off, isn't she? Good evening, Nana Moon. Good evening, Claire. Or, Raymond. Good morning, Shell. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, James. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Diane. I say, good morning, Bend Over. Who the hell's Bend Over? Christ. Somebody from the 80s. And good morning, Daniel. And Jeanette. And good morning, Bonnie. God's sake. I think that's probably all 34 of you, so if any of you haven't spoken, tough shit, I ain't doing, you're going to sit there and just say good morning to everyone, so, oh dear, Bend Over, I ain't heard that name I ain't heard that name in ages, so, right, shall I poke at some bears? She don't need, they say she'll earn 150 million from it. Oh. Really? You and your, actually, Claire, you and your bloody figures. Shit me. Good morning, Lottie. Ronaldo was awesome today. Absolutely amazing. So, we're going to win the Prem. So, yeah, actually, John, that's where I was going before you went and bazzled me with Emma. That's what you've done that for, isn't it? Because the Tottenham score today, fucking Crystal Palace, fucking 3-0. 3-0? 3-0? Good evening, Karen. Do you know Joe King? Oh, I don't know. Somebody must know Joe King. Oh dear. And Mike Hunt. Oh dear. God's sake, I don't really do tennis. It's a bit fucking boring, isn't it? So. So, yeah. And yet again, I'm sorry, but England are putting their faith in, or the UK are putting their faith in another, in another foreign national. Do you class them as foreign nationals? I don't know what to say to not be racist as such. So it's like Greg Rosetsky. He was born in Canada. I mean, this Emma was born in Canada as well. It's a case of, I think you should play for wherever you were born. So I could make a joke there, but I'm not going to because we don't go there. So right, anyway, you guys had a bit of a busy week, haven't you? I haven't really been on, to be honest. I had a couple of looks, and that's been about it. I haven't actually commented since Sunday or Monday, I think. So I've been a very good boy this week. But I have I figured out that basically I don't want to. I'll put it in blunt Vinny language. Stuart had somebody on who said something that shouldn't have really been said on a live. And basically everyone went batshit crazy. Everyone went batshit crazy over it and then stopped hating Shinny. Is that right? Claire, you are about? So, the lady of the figures is what we should call Claire. So, the lady with the figures. So, because obviously Claire's Claire's probably busy. She's probably counting all that money she makes from her YouTube, which must be pence. And I am going to say Clair is clever though. Absolutely clever as fuck, to be quite honest, because it's a fucking genius move. What you do is you do your StreamYard on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, and then that way you can then unload it from Facebook as soon as the live's over, so nobody can blame you for any of the shit that's actually said on it. And then you stick the link to the YouTube up, which means anybody who then wants to watch it has to watch on your YouTube. It's fucking genius, Claire. Especially if you hit the 10k and you've monetized. I don't know. I'm not claiming. I don't know if Claire's got adverts on these or not, or if they're monetized or not. And I'm not saying she has monetized them, but it's a fucking genius move. Like, all your rewatchers have to watch on YouTube. Have to watch on your YouTube. It's fucking genius. So, but Claire isn't making a fortune. Claire is not jetting off to the Bahamas on her private jet, as in my pictures. I stopped at putting Claire and Louise in bikinis in the Bahamas in bikinis. I stopped. So, the private pictures. Not really. I didn't make them. I could do though. I might do. So when all the money does come through. So, but it is a fucking ingenious move, Claire. It really is an ingenious move. So yeah, you don't get in trouble for Facebook for the lives that could potentially be damaging, and then you stick up a YouTube link to your own page. That is fucking genius. So only if only you were making loads of money off them, that would be fucking seriously genius. Shinny should do it. So, am I allowed to mention? Okay, this is the bit I don't get. Okay, so anyway, I just done Claire with that bit. Actually, hang on. I'll carry on with Claire and the monetization thing. Because I've seen people say she's being a bit of a hypocrite because of the Shinny thing, and it's something completely different. There's so many differences in between it. Claire isn't trying to sell anything to anybody. Any money that Claire actually makes off the YouTube will come from YouTube and the advertising. So she isn't actually taking money. She isn't asking people to subscribe to her. You don't have to pay to subscribe to her YouTube channel. So any money that Claire actually makes on that YouTube is getting paid by YouTube, who is then kind of like getting money from the adverts that are then playing on the YouTube videos. So anybody who's just taking an earning off YouTube, it's because they've allowed YouTube to put adverts on their lives, which I don't think Claire has. But if she did, what fucking difference would it matter? I'd fucking monetize them all. I'd fucking have money on them all. Fucking give me the fucking money. If you've got yourself a page and it's got 10k people on and you can monetize it, fucking monetize the fuck out of it. YouTube paying the money. She isn't taking money off vulnerable people. I mean, she isn't asking fucking you lot in the comments to. Sorry guys, I aren't reading the comments, by the way. So good evening, anyone who's just joined. So yeah, she isn't actually asking for no money off anyone. If she makes any money, which I imagine would be pence, yeah, it's coming from YouTube, so it's a completely different thing. So and I'd say anyone, if you've got a page and you can monetize it, fucking monetize it, get some money out of it. It's the same with Facebook and that. If you if you monetize your stuff on Facebook, which I think you can do, and then you get the adverts playing on your lives, good for you. If you're doing something that interesting and you're getting that many viewers, then fair play. And that's where I'd go with Shinny as well, because he isn't actually selling anything now from what the little bits I've seen, apart from himself. Support him. So support him and all his wonderful things. So did anyone watch the podcast tonight? Was the podcast any good? So because I looked Wednesday expecting to see an all-out Shinny attack, and you had Peter fucking Gazelle, the man who's wonderful at everything, or has to be the best at everything, fucking talking to Decker. I'm sure that's going to get millions of views on fucking YouTube, that, isn't it? So, oh yep, I had a problem with drink and drugs, and yeah, but I was the best at everything I ever done. What a fucking, the tribe fucking thirsties must love him. They really must, so. Because then he's on a couple of days later fucking still talking a load of old shit. So, but no, that's up to them. And as far as the Shinny thing goes, if I get a chance to make a funny meme about Shinny, I'll make it. Because I ain't going to stop because Stuart done something on a live and that. That's the bit I couldn't understand. That's where I'll go in a minute, is I can't understand why anyone has to stop because of what Stuart done. Where does it connect? I'll do whatever I fucking want on my page. If I get to the stage where I can monetize it, I'll fucking monetize the fuck out of it. You guys will just get advert, and more adverts. Honestly, double adverts for these fuckers. I'm that good. I've got 58, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Not the superstar figures of the leading members of the community and their fucking waffling bullshit about fuck all. So, I did have somebody asking to come on then, but I missed them, and now they seem to have gone. So, if anybody did want to come on, if you've got something to say, so. Claire, obviously, I'll open it up to you if you're out there. Because I sort of just offended you there, I think, because I've got no problem if you wanted to make money and you could make money out of that, then I'd fucking make money out of it. So, I will say there is a bit of double standards going on with regards to you putting up the YouTube things, because somebody else had a channel and was posting up those StreamYard Matters lives, and they sort of got shut down for it. So, yeah. But then, who fucking gives a fuck? It's all a load of old bullshit. It really is. When you realise that, then you can just do whatever you want. I ain't got no fucking comments coming up here. Is anyone actually talking? I can bring everyone on camera, but I've got nobody talking. Am I just talking to myself? Sorry guys, I need help in the comments. Talk to me. Am I right? Is Claire okay to... here's Claire. Let's see if we can add up. Sadden. Come on, internet, don't let me down tonight. Yay!
Hello.
Okay.
I've been worried about you. I was going to send a care call out for you, Vinny.
Were you? What, because
I
I ain't been
know.
about?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
starting to miss you. I was go doctors, I think.
Okay.
Might
Well,
have
that's nice to
COVID.
know, isn't it?
And then you come back with a bang. I'll give you that tonight. You really did. The memes were very funny.
Well, you can blame Wayne for it, because he added me onto his cuckoo's nest picture. Cheeky bastard.
Yeah, they were very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Anyway, I'll just fill you in because I think you're missing a few blanks there.
To be honest, Claire, I'm missing an awful lot. My
Yeah.
Facebook time you could fit into about 20 minutes this week.
All right. Well.
I've had a busy week, so.
All right. So, as you know, there was a live done where certain accusations were made, shall we say, and people were named, unfortunately. Now, somebody from that live came over to our live, and we were also mentioned by said person on the original live.
You were mentioned. How were you mentioned?
The person in question also said that they loved StreamYard Lives Matter, they loved Kay, they loved Louise, they loved us all. And then someone jumped off the stage on that live came on over to our live. We didn't even know the live was even happening. Didn't even know. And the story that was recounted to us was that the person in question was underage at the time that this happened.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
think I got that much, and that was my friend Karen.
yeah. So I immediately jumped in Stu's inbox and said, turn it off, get her off. Fucking what are you doing, Stu? Get her off the fucking stage now. You need to turn this, you need to shut this shit down. And it was just met with, oh, trust me, you'll never be back after this. And I was like, oh my God. So I did flip my bin and he wouldn't shut it down. So I went into George's inbox and fair dues, George shut it off straight away and George rang me. But then I remembered that a few days prior to that, Stuart jumped on our live and he alluded to something that he had coming down the line. Now, somewhat told me there was going to be something really fucking dodgy going on here. And I just had this horrible feeling it was going to be something to do with something like this. So I stopped him on the live, and the live's still up. And I said, Stu, promise me, before you do whatever you're thinking of doing, make sure you speak to either Lulu or Louise. Promise me you'll do that. Yeah. And it so happened that Lulu was on the live at the time, and she said, of course, Stu, love, come and speak to me. And she said, I'll set a chat up now. I don't want to be in the chat because I don't know fuck all about that sort of stuff. So a chat was set up with the three of them in. Stu never answered the chat, never entered the chat, and the next we know about it, this is happening. It's the weekend. It's
So
happening.
why have you stopped then? Why have you
Right.
stopped
Well, let me tell you. So I jumped into Stu's inbox and George's inbox the following morning. Stu and George elected to do a live in which it was said that I jumped in their inbox, and my only problem was
that you
that,
didn't have it on your channel?
yeah, and I wanted to monetize it and various other horrible things about me or whatever. But in the meantime, we started getting information through. Oh, that was it. Stu's excuse was he didn't know any of this was going to happen. This woman just randomly appeared in the comments, started talking about it in the comments. He couldn't block her or mute her or anything like that because he was on his phone doing the live. I don't know why he couldn't, because you can still do it. And that he had no idea, and some reason he decided she needed to have a voice, and he jumped on stage with a load of drunk people who proceeded to talk over her, by the way. So the whole thing was a complete shambles from the start. When she
Yeah,
came on,
it's not something you get on a live.
Stu acted all surprised that this was a complete shock to him. But then it started to come out in the preceding hours that this girl had gone to him a number of weeks ago. And screenshots came out of him in people's inboxes saying, bragging about it. I've got an ace up my sleeve. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm just talking to her. This is going to end him. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. Now, he said categorically that it was okay because she didn't want to go to the police, this girl. And so he elected not to. I know why he didn't speak to Louise or Lulu, because he knew they'd probably say, fucking, you can't do this shit. So that all started to come out then, that actually he'd been planning this for quite some time. So it became one lie that he told, snowballed, and as it continued, it just continued with more lies on top of lies on top of lies. And then he attacked me, and he then issued an apology, which was worse than one of yours, to be honest, Vinny. I mean, it was even worse than yours.
Really?
He then said, it was words to the effect of, I think, I apologised to Claire. It was George that told me that that's what she said, despite him like 3 times on the live saying I said it to him. He said he had the inboxes, going to out my inboxes, threatening me on the live. So, and then it said, and Lulu's told me I was wrong. And by the way, I'll never apologise to Shinny. Right. No, still no care for this woman. In the meantime, Laura's obviously we've found out who this girl is. Laura's sort of taken her into her care, and she's immediately been on to the police. So, but apparently
this is a historical thing, I believe.
Yeah. But Stu's been talking to her for a number of weeks, and he's not been able to persuade her to go to the police. And but she did it in less than an hour with Laura. And he'd also, what tripped him up a little bit as well, was he'd made this girl come back on a alt account, a fake account. So his little protestations of, I didn't know any of this was going to happen. Well, why did you get her to come on a fake account? So the lies just weren't crumbling out. And actually, it was Wayne in the comments under the apology posted a clip of his video where he was saying, you said to me last night, Claire, you said in my inbox. And Stu replied to that comment with, oh, well, it might not have been, someone only told me 2 minutes before, and it might not have been George, it might have been, and then they pushed the blame onto someone else, and then promptly deleted the whole thing.
Okay.
So, obviously, we were cross. Louise did a live and said, Stu, do you want to come over and talk to us and get this sorted out and explain? We sat on the live for 2 hours. We got a message through eventually.
Do you really think he was ever going to come on?
Well, no, I didn't. Before any of this happened,
I wouldn't.
Well, before any of it happened, what I actually said was, and everybody else did, we'll get the mental health card now. We'll get his mental health's not right, because history shows us with Stuart that he will never admit to something unless his back's right against the wall and there's a gun to his head. And then his excuse is always, oh, my mental health's really bad. So we did exactly that. Apparently there was a screenshot of from his Apple Watch saying he's so ill, he's got his heart rate is at 150 something, which means fuck all to me anyway. So he cried off. But then it came out that he then spent all night, literally was up all night in people's inboxes talking to people. So he couldn't speak to us. He couldn't come in my inbox again, but he obviously could speak to everyone all night. But then what
to be honest, I think he done the right thing, to be honest. Maybe not speaking to everyone else, but avoiding you guys.
So, well, you know, that's his personal choice at the end of the day, isn't it? It's then transpired that a certain ex-tribe member who was taken into his care that came over and just passed the message on that Stu wasn't going to come on, was then blocked by both of them and spent all night having a breakdown, not understanding what he'd done wrong, and that Shinny had done exactly the same to him. And now kind of Stuart had took him in and said he'd help him. I'm not saying
I'm not sorry, I couldn't have named.
Yeah, and then again,
I watched the first Stu's live, so I haven't.
And then so he was devoed, and again, someone from this side has had to be speaking to Glenn. So it's all been a bit of a shit show, to be quite honest. So what happened was, obviously, we were, unfortunately, as you know, we're kind of lumped into the same bracket as Stu. You know, we're not seen as Two Mad Paddies and StreamYard Lives Matters and the Tribe or whatever. It's them trolls. You know,
but I mean, if you've got a good enough point there, you don't need to stop anything, do you?
Well, my view on it.
I mean, to be
was
honest,
that
I haven't got a single
unfortunately
problem with him now because
the
he's taken for himself.
reality of the situation is what Stu does reflect on us, and
It okay, it
that's
reflects
just the
on you guys
reality.
because you guys get involved in with Stu.
Well, yeah, well, for whatever reason, we all know each
If you
other.
sit there and comment on his lives, then kind of basically when the shit hits, okay, I can see it.
Well, even if we didn't speak to Stu, in the eyes of Shinny and his bunch, we're still all going to be the trolls. That's just how life
Yeah, but
works.
then that's been the same from basically the mum pictures a couple of weeks ago to the child picture a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
Um,
and
I mean,
with
I
the
left.
child picture, I'll explain my rationale behind that. The reason why I kind of gave Stu a pass on that, I realised it was probably a mistake now. But when you're not in this community,
You don't
you
know.
don't sort of realise with the children thing. I mean, I never realised so many things. I had family pictures of kids on my face, but I wouldn't have thought twice of putting a kid on in school uniform or whatever. Thought never would occur to me that would be a problem.
Well, you
And
soon
you
learn.
know, Stu is very good with his words and he's very apologetic. And I believed him. I can't deny it. I believed him when he said he didn't realise and it was a mistake and all the rest of it. I've since found out that's not the case. I didn't know anything about this flipping GMP
Okay,
email spoof that he was going to
actually,
do. I knew nothing about that until Shinny outed it.
yeah,
And
Claire,
actually,
do you know what Stu's? Because I mean, I'm just gonna put this here because something I did hear you say. I think you congratulated William on calling him out. Like I called him out on the picture things. When he actually done the picture thing, I done a live on it, and I'd called him out when he first came into the community because I actually had him on a live after it because I don't, and I still don't actually know what his original problem with Shinny was. Was he a tribe member who got shit on or something? I
I
don't know.
don't know. Do you know?
I
I
don't know
don't know.
why he's got
I'm
this much hate.
sure he said a story was that George had come to him one day and said, "Here, have you seen what this bloke's doing?" And I suspect it was about the time that Wayne was doing it. And I think he watched a few of Lee's videos. And I think one of the statements that has come out that he's made that I didn't even know myself was apparently he was going to make Wayne look like the Easter Bunny, was what he said
Oh,
originally.
right. Well, okay.
Um, So I
So,
don't know. As much as you, he just sort of come out of nowhere, and he did seem like a nice boat. And hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I thought it
yeah,
was
no, I
genuine.
called him out.
He
I called him out straight
Yeah,
away on it. It's
but
and
you
like
know,
even
and then
I
Stu and
left.
I do talk in inbox, and he was always very apologetic about it. But I had noticed in the last sort of 6 weeks that he was getting a bit unhinged. And he'll tell you himself. I mean, I was tempted to out the inboxes. I don't really want to. But I've been telling I've begged him in his inbox. I was the one that got him to take all the memes down. I had to inbox him and say, Stuart, all this memeing shit with his mum and shit, it needs to fucking stop. And fair dues to him, he came back to me an hour later and he went, Claire, I've took them all down. And I
Yeah,
said to
but
him, Stu,
also, Claire,
you've
like,
got to
shush,
go.
shush, shush. God, you fucking fool. You shut up.
Well,
At the
passing
same time with
information
the
to
mum
you.
stuff and that should have never gone up. He should have learned his lesson
I know.
after the
I
daughter
couldn't
photos.
I
And then
agree
kind
with
of
you.
basically when he's given it a week later, kind of, oh, don't go for my mummy and that. It's a case of you've sat there making pictures of Shinny's mum. Kind of like
Mm,
it's blood for blood, isn't it, or whatever you want to call it. You can't
mm.
sit there and fucking cry that your
Well,
family are now getting it when you're
don't
going
start a
through all this.
war and then complain that you don't like fucking being in the war.
Yeah.
And to be
So
fair, Shinny never walked along and saw, oh, there's this bloke called Stuart. I think I'll just start having a go at him.
no. No,
So,
no. So sorry, Stuart. I mean, I don't want. I'm not trying to bully Stuart up here. I'm asking questions to what I want to know. Stuart, what is your Stuart? If you listen to this, what is your reasoning for going after Shinny in the first place? Is it just somebody pointed out he was a wrong'un? Because I mean, I done Shinny at
mm,
Christmas, and he got 10 minutes on a live, and then he was forgotten until Wayne came across him.
I think he had the same intentions as we all did at the beginning. It was to stop him from doing what he was doing, but somewhere along the way, it became really personal for Stu.
It became personal when they started sort of looking into him,
Yeah,
and
and
shit
then
started
it
hitting back. It's a case of you cannot be a leader of any of these groups and not expect the shit to come back at you. You can't sit
mm,
on a
mm,
StreamYard talking about somebody for 8 hours fucking solid and not expect anything to come back. Yes, the shit
mm.
that Shinny was putting out with him was all bullshit and it was lies, but you, I don't know. I mean,
Well, he was going to brand him a paedophile with a fake police email, so he had his family
yeah, but
followed.
is that not just that is just bigging himself up in chat? He was never going to do that.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine he ever would have done this, but and I mean, like I say, I couldn't believe it on the other night when it was actually
I think
happening.
I think with regards to Stuart having the woman on the thing, it's the same as posting Shinny the picture of his daughter. It's naivety, a lot of
Mm.
naivety,
Well, I
plus
could have put it
mixed in
down
with
to
an awful
that.
lot of hate because it's gone too far,
Mm.
and he's got himself involved in something which he obviously can't handle mentally. And
Mm.
if you can't handle this shit mentally, then you are best just to walk away. There's no
Mm.
point in fighting with anyone. I mean, he
But
done well
there's
not coming on
no
with you
pleading
guys.
ignorance this time because a chat was set up for him to speak to people that do know about it. And he deliberately ignored that. So he was of sound mind. He can't plead ignorance because he
Well,
was
he isn't of
warned.
sound mind, is he? Because he's got himself
Well,
into a
exactly.
battle that I think it's just completely got to him. I feel
Mm,
sort of sorry for him, but I'd like to know what his original trigger is. I mean,
mm,
because I've asked Lee, and kind of obviously Lee's quite open with his story and how he came across Shinny and what Shinny's done to him.
mm,
But you don't see Lee fucking getting pictures. You don't see Lee doesn't go over the top with it. Lee
too
rants
far.
on the live.
And I think
So far, Lee's
my
been pretty
breaking
good.
point is that to me, he's clearly used that very fucking traumatized person that's had a traumatized event. He's used her as a weapon against
Yeah, but
Shinny.
yeah, but aren't you guys now beating him over the head with this?
Well, yeah, because he shows no remorse and he seems willing to carry on. And my concern is, what the fuck is he going to do next? Because he's already affected that woman. He's affected her police case or any future case that she might have against him. Now he's done what he's done with the person you shouldn't have said the name of earlier. So
Yeah.
that's two people. He's had a really detrimental effect on their mental health. So who and what's going to be next? That's my concern. And I
Yeah,
can't
but he
stand
isn't doing
by the
nothing on his
same
he
way,
isn't doing
the
nothing
way
on his
this.
page, is he?
No, but he went, it was all over the Shinny Shiny show. Obviously, the tribes closed down. Nothing to
See,
do with me.
I haven't been in these groups
Yeah,
since
the tribe have
the
packed
start.
up and the Shinny Shiny show packed up. But there was a Chris Loxley had a backup Shinny Shiny show backup. And the Shinny Shiny show weren't Chris Loxley's, by the way. And so Chris
I don't
Loxley's
know.
now reopened the Shinny Shiny show back up because the other two have been archived. And who was the first person straight in there yesterday but Stuart, laughing and joking with everyone in the comments going, "Hi, I'm new here."
Yeah, but there's a lot of bad people who
So,
have come along and done a new profile and done that.
yeah, well, he's not apologised to me. He's not explained himself. He's not said what his intentions are. And I felt like I couldn't carry on and because I cannot risk being associated with that sort of behaviour. It's too bad, and it was rubbing off on me, and I just will not risk it. I thought actually we were quite getting to Shinny the way that we were doing it. We really were,
Oh,
and
you had some good points. Your figures are well out though, Claire. Well out.
we'll do that on another day, me and you. But
Your figures are out.
we really were, I think, having an effect, and we weren't going for his family, and we weren't going for his kids.
And
We
you don't have
were,
to. You don't
yeah,
have to.
exactly, exactly. And, we spent a lot of time doing all that, and we get a lot of inboxes, and we've got to go through them, and some of them are worthwhile. We've got ones we think we can use. Well, we've got to go and do due diligence on them and make sure that's correct. And I didn't want to have to throw all that away, but in all good conscience, I couldn't risk being associated with that because he kept handing Shinny all these golden tickets. Everything that Shinny's been able to go at
Is stuff that Stu's done.
it's stuff that just that one man's done, and it was progressively getting worse. And I cannot be anywhere near somebody who put someone like that on stage that's effectively groomed them to do
Yeah,
that.
the problem is, though, Claire, is that you guys backed him on the kids' pictures. So,
Well, I wouldn't say I backed him. I believed him. I
the
believed him, and I gave him a chance. And like I say, hindsight's a wonderful thing. If I knew then what I knew now, obviously I wouldn't have done it. But we all make mistakes. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. And I believed him, and I believed he was genuinely didn't know and was genuinely sorry, and he wouldn't do any of that shit ever again. But we can all be proved wrong sometimes, and that's what happened. And I wish that we'd have all put our foot down then, because then that poor woman, that wouldn't have happened to her and the other
no,
person.
I mean, to be honest, see, this is where the whole thing goes wrong, because it was a case of when he's going at the person that you're going at, your your friend is oh
You
no,
enemy.
yeah,
I know what
something
you
like that.
mean.
Anyway,
I
I
know
know
what
you
you're
weren't
trying to say.
enemies, but you're
Mm,
battling along the same cause. But the
mm,
problem that you then have is that you then get friendly. You go on to, or people from your side then go onto his StreamYards. He
mm.
comes onto your StreamYards as well. You're then interlinked on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just couldn't
I
risk
mean,
it.
that's where I wouldn't comment. I mean,
And if Shinny goes on that podcast or he goes on that podcast, he's not going to be saying this bloke called Stu. He's going to be naming Stuart, Claire Varden, Louise Grace. Do you know what I mean? We're
well,
all
you
going
lot bottled
to.
it.
I
You
haven't
lot bottled
bottled
it,
it. I
even
haven't
though
listen, I don't bottle it to anyone. You should
you
know
bottled
that
it,
about me.
bottled it,
But
bottled it.
what I'm not going to do is co-sign and kind of enable it and put that at risk. Now, listen, if in 3 months' time Shinny comes back with another amazing scam that's absolutely ridiculous, I'm not saying that I'm never going to do anything about that. I'm just saying this current situation now has just become untenable, that I'm unable to
Yeah. To be honest, though, I
continue
mean, to
with
be
this
honest,
in
Claire,
this world that has been created.
no, a bet. I mean, a bet. To be honest, it should have been done a couple of weeks. Well, it should have been done a couple of months back, and said, let her have the kid, let them get that out of the way, and
Mm.
then continue. If anyone had any real sort of moral sense about them, it's a case of
Well, I
leave them
went, I went,
do
we went,
that.
I went over to Shinny's live. Well, I couldn't comment because I was blocked, but kindly someone put the message up for me. And, and actually, I nearly made him cry. I don't know if you've seen the live. He really did nearly cry.
Yeah, yeah, I did see
Um,
that one.
and I did say, we wish you and Maxine all the best, because we never wanted to hurt Shinny. We never wanted to, to harm the baby or anything like that. We just wanted to stop the shit that he was doing to
Is he not
people.
still doing the same shit though, but doing it for himself now?
I'm not entirely. I think from what I've seen, and I've stopped watching because there's actually no point in me watching now, and he bores the shit out of me when I've got to watch him. But from what I'm seeing personally, in my point of view, is that he doesn't know what he's doing at the minute, and he's
No.
saying he's doing one thing one day and one thing the other day. And actually, before this happened, I did say that, look, I'm not going to do anything because that bloke, he doesn't know what he's fucking doing at the moment. So let's see, he's thrown the cards up in the air, and let's see what happens when they all fall, and then we'll take a view on what to do going forward then.
Well, it
Um,
should have really ended well after he lost the page.
yeah, you're absolutely right. He should have packed it in. Well, he's a narcissist, and they just don't, they just can't
I mean,
ever
I'm a
admit that
hypocrite. I mean, I've
anything.
still been doing my memes, so
Yeah, listen, there's intent behind things. You know,
yeah,
memes don't always have to be a bad thing. If they're done in good humour and without malintent, then, you know, they're funny, like what you've done to us lot today. But if you're doing it to harm someone,
yeah,
then it, you know,
yeah,
it's a
yeah. Well,
different thing.
that's making the memes up of his mum. I mean, that's harming his mum and sort of
Yeah, yeah,
poking
yeah,
Chinny.
yeah.
So
And all that
that,
talk about being a drug dealer, and yes, he has said that in his book and all the rest of it. But again, that's him, you know, and you can't take things out. And as we know what Louise does for a living as well, well, not for a
yeah.
living,
I mean,
but in her spare
okay,
time.
and say
So,
that. I mean, oh Christ, where would we all be had Wayne not found Chinny that afternoon?
well, you know,
I
we could
mean,
say that about
what?
everything that happens in our lives,
Well,
couldn't we,
yeah, I
really?
suppose so. I suppose so. It is
You
just,
know, you come across things and, you know, you make decisions on whether you're going to act or not. And, you know, I think Wayne, you know, brought awareness and all the rest of it. I don't remember your lives talking about him, to be honest, to be fair.
no, well, I only
Um,
done the one. I done the one on Boxing Day, and it was 10 minutes.
I don't know
That's all
whether
it
I
was.
missed it or whatever, but I don't know. Wayne just did it in such a way, because he's probably Wayne, that he just captured that audience, and he set that sort of
Well,
buzz
Wayne's
about it.
got an awful lot more followers, hasn't he? So,
And plus, how he acted to Wayne on the live in front of everybody obviously got everyone's fucking back up as well. So anyone that
yeah.
didn't
See,
already know about it was then just annoyed because this bloke had gone at their friend Wayne. So it was
yeah.
like
See,
the
I don't know.
perfect
I don't know
storm.
if I helped going on the next day because I mean, Wayne had been in the comments trolling him the Tuesday. I went on the Wednesday. I think Kay was on the Thursday. Just wondering if had it been any different had I not gone on, would it have got
No,
that?
I don't think so at all, because I think
He would have still gone live
shit
with
the
Wayne
way
that Friday.
Shinny is such a narcissist. He just assumed that Wayne was nobody, you were a nobody, Kay was a nobody, and
We
he
are
could just,
nobodies.
well, yeah, in a way, yes, and in a way, no, because you know you are a big part of a very big community, whether you say you are or not. You are all part of that, all of you. So it was all, you know, Shinny just didn't realise that, did he? So I think if it had been two of you or one of you, or,
Yeah,
you
well,
know, I think the
me
outcome
at
would.
Christmas, nobody listened.
Well, you know,
So I mean,
I don't
that's where
remember
your
it.
figures go wrong because
The
he only had
thing,
400 people in
I
that
know,
call at
but you're
Christmas.
a little. Sometimes I think that people just think you're moaning, and I
Oh, I
think
do just, yeah, I
with
am.
Wayne, Wayne did more of a call to arms, whereas, you know, no offense, because I love you moaning sometimes, you know, everyone's just like, oh, Badger's moaning again, but Wayne did a proper call to arms, and I think that's maybe why it was different.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No, well, I just don't need to go that far. It is a case of I'll have a moan about whatever I've been booted off that day, and then it's forgotten.
listen, I
So
love your moans. It's just when you
as
go
with
too
Shinny,
far, I have a
so
problem.
it's a case of I don't moan because I'm pissed off with anything. I'm moaning because,
You're
like
just a
I say,
moany old git. Well, that's why we
yeah,
all love
yeah.
you.
Well, we all have a moan.
I
We all
know,
have a
yeah, I
moan.
agree with you totally.
So
I get it, I
what
get it.
we wouldn't be on here and moaning if we didn't like a moan.
Well, there'd be no,
No.
well, half our lives there would be silence, wouldn't there? Be no conversation.
Yeah,
We
we wouldn't
couldn't
talk
moan
about fuck
about
all.
shit.
So no, you got to have a moan about shit. So, but
Yeah, I agree.
it's knowing that it is just Facebook at the end of the day, and not to take it too seriously like some people have. And
Yeah, but there is a point where you can
I'm
say
just going
that,
to say
but
again,
then
I
there's
did question that.
serious things that happen on Facebook, and people do get seriously affected. And you can't just brush it all away. It's only Facebook, because look at the damage that has been done to some people, and you know, serious, you know, proper life stuff that, you know, that could
Yeah,
have,
but that's
people
because
could
people
get
don't walk
hurt.
away, Claire. That's because
Yeah, I know, but you know, people,
you've got to walk away. It's a case of there's no point in fighting a battle. I mean, as I say, Stu
mm,
done well by not coming on with you lot when you're calling them out this week. It's
mm.
no good would come of it. No good would come of it.
But, you know, some people don't get it and they'll never get it. And, you know, well, that's why we're all different. And if we were all the same, it'd be bloody boring, wouldn't it?
Mm. It could all be like me. That'd be interesting.
Triggered by moths and moaning in a shed.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. I might meme you up, Vinny. It's been a while.
So can we do the money thing then? So kind of like, because people were claiming that you're doing this whole StreamYard and YouTube thing for money, and I can't see how you could actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've outed various screenshots and stuff, and people, you know what people are like around here, Vinny, right? They just, you know, anything to have a dig, and they just saw an opportunity and they jumped on it. And now I don't make any money, and I outed a screenshot the other day. Do you know David?
But what would it matter if you did make any money?
Well, exactly, and even if I was, I've got no fucks to give, you know, because it's my YouTube channel. There's various people that have got YouTube channels.
Yeah,
You know,
and any money
and
that
it's
you'd
not a
be
problem.
getting would be coming from YouTube, wouldn't it?
Of course it would, yeah.
You aren't actually asking for
Yeah.
subscribers or anything.
Now, the
You aren't
problem with
getting anyone to pay
YouTube and
you.
ads is, firstly, you're not allowed to swear. So
Okay, well,
it's quite a big problem that I've got going on there. like a major problem. You can't play music. Can't play music. So, for instance, Kay's whole birthday StreamYard, yeah, all the money for that, all the probably 2.5p, is actually going to Stevie Wonder. So we bought Stevie Wonder, put a bit of money to his guide dog because he copyright claimed it because someone played Happy Birthday by Stevie Wonder. So he's got that video.
Okay. I'll speak to Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, and the other thing about YouTube is they run adverts, but if people skip them, which who doesn't skip the adverts, I might add, you get nothing. So that their first bit of their ads, just because they're running an ad, doesn't mean you're going to get paid for it. You only get something if they don't skip and they watch. I think it's something like the full ad or something like that.
Oh shit!
And I think, to put it in perspective, one of the most famous YouTubers has come out this year. It was in the Business Insider. It was because I was wondering myself. So I googled how much to get paid by YouTube for 1 million views, and this article came up. And the biggest YouTuber, it gets 10 million views a week. He's got gaming videos. That's a week, 10 million views, and obviously his don't get demonetized. And from that, he earns $2,000 a month from YouTube. Now, as a multimillionaire, because it's all the endorsements and all the sponsorships they get from it, they don't become millionaires because of YouTube. So that's what I think.
That's
it's
really
about
cool
1,800 quid a month, right, for 40 million views. Now, our videos, the popular ones probably get to 1,000, because what tends to happen with our videos is, you're absolutely right, I link them back, and then there'll be a big peak of some, you know, everybody doing the catch up the next day. But by day 3,
the problem though, Claire, the problem is you don't get the comments, and the comments are sort of half of what makes these lives.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, the comments is what gets us reported, and what gets the page reported.
Yeah, well, it's ingenious. It's ingenious, and
you know, I'll be honest with you, Vinny. If I could sack Facebook off and just go over to YouTube, I'd do that. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I think it's a better platform. People can speak more freely.
Well, no,
it's a lot more difficult to get accounts and pages on. You're not fucking got pages being, you know, don't have to deal with the real raw fucking truth and all them fucking bunch of dickheads that like to make pages.
You're gonna have to wait until it's your
everything.
turn for them to bully up on you, and then you can go and hide on YouTube like
with all my millions.
With all your millions.
So
yeah, you'd be happy.
I'm at the stage now, Video, where I've explained it enough, and quite possibly this is the last time I'm going to talk about it, to be honest.
Sorry. No, I just wondered.
No, well, I don't mind explaining to you because you don't know and you've asked the question.
I was sort of seeing your point. It's a case of where are people thinking you're making loads.
I don't know. It's absolutely. They
That's
don't
what the
really,
post
they
with the
don't
jet was.
really think that. They just see an opportunity to have a big old dig. So what they do
Okay.
is they just inflate things
Yeah,
in the
well, it's
mind.
just two totally different things. Shinny's asking money off vulnerable people.
Well, yeah,
You're getting paid off YouTube.
yeah. I've
So,
always said, even with the shinny thing, you know, I don't have a problem with people making money off social media if they're creating entertainment that people enjoy and people want to support that. Then it's like
yeah.
paying your TV license. Why
Yeah.
shouldn't they get paid for it?
And the majority of these people who do it on Facebook only have the £3.50 supporters, so
Yeah, yeah. And if you're
they don't
giving
go for
something
the
for that,
8.99.
if you're saying you'll get X, Y, Z for that, and you get X, Y, Z for that, then that's fine. But what Shinny was doing was saying, "You give me £8.99 a month, and I'll get you out of addiction." I've got the, and I think he even called it a miracle a few times himself. Don't know why he works, but it's a miracle. And he was
Yeah.
shoving them in there, and that was the last they ever.
Well,
That they
he's
got
contradicted
nothing.
everything he said, though, hasn't he, this week with the whole,
Mm,
I'm fucking done with it, like I don't need to work a program and all that
mm.
bullshit. So,
And what was worse was that not only were they going in there and getting nothing, they were then had the thumb screws on them and the hard sell for you must buy the socks now, you must start sending
yeah.
stars, you must buy Dr. Nick's fucking CBD oil, all the rest
Has
of
it
it.
not
So it was
changed though? I mean, I've skimmed, and it's a case of let's get me some supporters to support me. So I mean, I haven't got a problem
mm,
because he is now saying support me. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, I'm all right with that because I don't think, well, if anyone's stupid enough to give him money for that, then that's up to them. But at
yeah.
least they've got all the facts and they know what they're buying into. Don't have a problem with that. Same with like Lad Baby or the
Oh, I
Smithy
love Lad
family
Baby.
and all the rest of it. You know, if you want to see things, your favourite program on Netflix, you have to buy a subscription.
Yeah,
And some of these YouTubers that do it, if people did, because of the money's so shit on YouTube, if they didn't have the supporters badge, they'd have to go and get a real job and they wouldn't be able to create the content that everybody loves.
no problem with people making money. The whole thing with
Mm.
Shinny was is as you say, he was charging for something that could be a free group. Um,
It was snake
I
oil.
mean,
He was a snake oil salesman. He was selling snake oil. There was,
Snake oil, I don't know. I take it
yeah,
that was
it's like,
non-existent.
it's a snake oil. Oh, I'll sell you this snake oil. Well, it doesn't exist for me. That's the
Yeah,
whole.
yeah, yeah. Ice to Eskimos.
So, everybody don't get it twisted. And I won't apologise for having a YouTube channel to anyone, and I won't be doing. And they
And
can
you
say it
shouldn't.
and say it until like they can get their hair off as much as they like. Nobody's forced to come on our channel. Everybody that comes on the panel knows.
Yeah.
And,
See,
the
well,
only
then that.
people that seem to have a problem with it is certain people that seem to have had historic problems with people that I'm now friends
Yeah, and
with.
that is the whole thing. It is all historic problems from people
Mm,
who can't walk away and can't just
can't
think,
fucking move on.
yeah, I can't. Oh, I must watch these people. I must carry
I
on having a
know.
go at these
I
people.
can't
It's
think
just,
of anything worse. I used to absolutely hate watching Shinny. I could only really watch it if Wayne or Lee were doing it. And like
yeah.
now I've not got an investment in that process. Fucking I ain't going over there to watch him. I fucking can't stand the bloke. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah,
Go
I
and do
haven't watched.
something I fucking
I haven't
enjoy
watched the whole one.
doing.
I've skimmed him. I've skimmed him this week, but it does look like he's just begging for himself. So
He's a very broken man at the minute. But what I have seen from him in the last few days, and I don't know whether it's because he's broken, is he seems to be at least being authentic. This fucking shiny fucking falseness that he had about him and that fake laugh and all the rest of it. That's all gone. So I've got to give him a point for that. At least he's being his real fucking self for a change.
yeah,
And
just a
if
prick.
people
I
like
really
his
can't see how
real
people can.
self and they want to give him money for that, then let him crack
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Well done to him because
Mm.
I wouldn't be giving him money at all because I think he's a prick. But
Yeah, but I think in the long run, he'll be better off going down that road, really, and just
well,
saying, I'm Shinny and I live a great life, and I'm going to go fishing some days, and I'm going to talk about myself all the time and how great I am, and what, give me money, give me some money.
I said it months ago on my lives. Sell yourself.
Yeah,
Give up
I
the
mean,
tribe shit. Sell
mm,
yourself. because that's basically what most of the people are on there for, is for him. They don't want to see fucking
Yeah, Lorna
the
will still
Vikings.
give him £8.99 a month, won't she? Good
Yeah,
old Lorna.
yeah, they're
But
on there for him. So kind of like he's best just to sell himself. That's what I suggested he done fucking before he even lost the page. Sell yourself.
and that's what I do see a little bit in him now, and that's called being authentic.
Yeah, but he's selling shit all apart from begging for shares again from the
Well,
from
yeah,
the
because he
same
just
video.
don't fucking know what he's going to do at the minute. His head is all over the place, and I can't blame him. But I think he has come to some realities now. I think he
Yeah, okay then.
realises that he
Okay,
just can't do that anymore, and
okay.
as a
Claire,
result, he
shush,
doesn't know
shush,
what
shush,
to
shush,
do.
shush, 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 shush. Shush. Fucking hell. Shit, you can talk, woman.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
um, I said a little while ago that kind of basically people should have stopped after the book page. Maybe you can see, obviously, you can see that that's affecting him. I mean, I've seen it for months. He comes on, he does his broken lives, and you can see he's been broken for fucking months with all this shit. I mean, he should be laughing his face off at the moment because you lot have cleared him, and Stuart's gone on to fucking hiding onto a group. So, I mean, he should be on top of the fucking world unless he's actually using, well, what he was doing was using Stu as a look what he's doing to me to get sympathy to then get more money. But he's also said last weekend he said about he comes off the lives and basically he's still a fucking angry bastard at the end of it. Wouldn't it be wise for him just to have thought kind of like Mrs. is gonna have Sprog in a couple of weeks and that maybe I should step away for a couple of months.
Yeah,
I mean
totally with you. People have paternity
I
leave.
mean basically that's what I would have done. I mean I got a load of shit last year. I stepped away for a couple of months and fucking shit evaporates after time. So um but it is the thing I get with Shinny. It's a case of it's about he needs that money back, and as much as he protests that he doesn't need money and he could live out of a dustbin and all that other shit, he's after the money.
Of course,
It's
yeah.
still all about the money, but at least he's being honest. You're paying for him to be him now,
Yeah.
so rather than paying. Well, you're still paying if you want to be into the tribe or
And
maybe
even
try and
if
get
you're in a
access to the
proper
tribe.
job, you have paternity leave, don't you? If your wife's going to drop, you
Oh
have some
yeah,
time off. So,
yeah.
but I think the timing wasn't very good for him, and I think he thought if he had the time off, it was all going to slip away even more.
Well, it has slipped away though, hasn't it? It's
Mm,
completely 200 in the tribe compared to 1,000 before Wayne. It's it's fucked.
but I think the
It's fucked, and that's
pennies
why
only
he's still
dropped
having to
now.
beg. That's why he's on there begging because like 200 doesn't pay the bills enough.
No, of course.
That's my belief in it, and that's why he can't get away. She should have said to him, "Look, we're cool. Let's just walk away from it." Because I mean, that was the only way that it was ever going to stop. Or he had to do the block and just not mention people.
Mm.
So, and he
I
just
think
couldn't
there's a
do it.
bit of ego, and we
Oh,
probably
there's a lot of
feel,
ego.
and
He's from a different time. He's not internet savvy with regards to what people can actually be like, and that's where it
mm,
hit him with Wayne because he just had never come across nothing as relentless as the community.
and obviously when he met Maxine, she had money, he had money. That makes him feel good
Yeah,
as a
well, she wouldn't have
man.
looked at him otherwise, would she?
Yeah, and he probably realizes that as well. And I don't suppose
Yeah.
many men want to feel like they're a kept man, if you know what I mean.
Cool, I would. If she wanted to pay for me to live over there and sun
Well,
myself
we
all
know
day,
you would.
I'll tell you,
So,
I'd be on live all day long. I'm like, yeah,
mm.
check me out, love.
So his power that that he had with Maxine, whereas they were on the same level, he was a high earner, she was a high earner. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, is jobless on benefits, and that's not going to feel nice for anybody, really, to be honest.
No, he's broken. He's broken, but he's been
Mm,
broken for months, Claire. He really has.
mm. But he's not helped
Um,
himself. He's kind of been the master of his own destiny, because if he'd done things differently, but his,
yeah,
his ego and his narcissism wouldn't help him, and I'm sure he'll learn a valuable lesson for this at some point and look back on it. But for
I don't
now,
know.
I think the penny's just dropping now of what's the reality of the situation, and it's not just going to ping back to how it was before.
Yeah, I think he was expecting to have 1,000 people back in that tribe as soon as he put on his
And he probably
support again.
thought
And
we'd just go away at some point and all get fed up and fuck off and leave him alone.
but you would if he could
Mm,
just if he could have just stuck to the calm lives, because there isn't no lives when he does a calm when he was doing his calm lives and he was managing to keep it together. But you can guarantee he can go through a whole week and then kind of come the weekend he'd have that bitch fit because he'd start thinking about the money again. He did.
mm,
He just and then he comes on and says, kind of, "Look, I tried to not talk about them, but then they're there again." It's a case of it's
mm,
gonna take. It takes more than a week to rid your demons, and you're never gonna get rid of them. So,
mm. Well, he's an addict, and I
oh,
believe he never
God's
stopped
sake,
being one. He just swapped
he's
one
got a
addiction.
disease. He's got a disease, and it's called addiction, but it
Mm.
makes him a mentalist or something. So,
Well, no, I just think he's got an addictive personality, and instead of alcohol, he became addicted to money and fame, I suppose, because he
hmm,
truly believes he's famous.
yeah, yeah, that's
And
worrying.
that's the
That
thing with narcissists, is they believe their own sort of world that they build for themselves. They believe it themselves.
yeah. Yeah, I don't. As I say, I've skimmed him this week because I can't sit there and watch him because he will just drive me crazy with his
Yeah,
bullshit. So
I'm the same. So I'm
it is
just
quite
gonna.
easy to actually talk over one. I could do many a talk over on his lives and just call him out on everything. But
Mm,
he contradicts himself so many times throughout those lives as well.
mm.
He is lost. He is lost. Poor man.
And
So
he's just never been any used to anyone questioning him, because the type of people that he's addressing, you know, they're desperate, desperate people at the time. And if somebody's desperate and you come along and say, I'm going to cure you, I've got a miracle cure, it's why people go to Noreen and those sort of people. It's just hope. As humans, we want to believe that something's true, even though, really, we probably know it isn't. But when you're that desperate, you're willing to try anything, aren't you? And he sort of played on that with people the same way that the Noreens of the world play on it.
yeah, I think the thing with addiction is that you've got to want to stop. There isn't no cure for any of this stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to want to stop, and you've got to hit that point where you got to stop with any addiction, whether it be drinking, smoking, drugs,
Mm,
gambling, whatever you're obsessing with. Um, you've got to want to stop. You've got to want to change.
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
really agree.
I'm talking complete shit now, so. Oh,
Now you've
God,
got me
sorry.
talking your complete shit as well. God damn
Oh,
it.
that's okay. That's okay. No,
Shall we do
I
sing
haven't got a
song?
clue if anybody's actually talking in the comments because my
I
comments
haven't seen any of them, to be honest, but
they
I must say I've had an inbox off Louise telling me off for talking over you two, so now I know I'm in the shit.
for talking to me.
Talking over you. I
All right.
know. Fuck's sake, Vinny.
Well, you do talk and talk and talk and talk.
I know,
So
yeah. I don't disagree with
actually, I'll
you.
tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It's because you aren't on a live with Louise because you don't get a word in with Louise.
I won't fucking dare. You're kidding.
So between Louise and you get Kay on there, and then you're
It's
fucked. You ain't saying fuck all.
it's
So
it's a
don't come over
blessing
onto
and
my live, fucking
it's a
stomping your way in there.
yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, Vinny, as a lot of things are in life.
Yeah, I don't know. So
I love your moaning, but when it goes too far, I don't like it.
no, when it's aimed at you guys, you don't like it. That's when it comes
No,
to
no,
you.
don't like it when you lose it with anybody, and I just don't like it.
Okay. Well,
It's
we
not
all have our
pleasant.
moments, don't we?
That's what I'm saying. None of
So
us are perfect, are we, Vin? Fucking hell.
no. But it's how you then deal with them. It's a case of
Mm,
do you want to carry on? So, and I
yeah.
don't. I don't, and that's why I've managed to. I've been really, really good this week.
I
So
genuinely started to miss you. I did, honestly.
yeah, I didn't. I done a lot. I think I done a live Sunday night, and I was sort of just. I get really disillusioned with it because it's just a case of it is the same repetitive shit
Yeah, of
pretty
course
much
it is.
every single fucking day, and you just. I don't know. I want to
It's
try and do
about
something
balance,
different.
isn't it? It's about everything's about balance.
Yeah. Well, I
Mm.
mean, I'm working on whatever I see, so it's. I mean, I came on tonight with little bits and pieces from what I've seen during the week. So, I mean, you filled me in with the whole thing. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't care either. I
No,
mean,
that's
if
your
the internet
prerogative.
switched off tomorrow and that, can I never see anybody ever again?
You'd still
So,
be in your fucking shed singing away to yourself. That's what you'd be doing.
well, yeah, I would. I'd be on the nap singing because that's what I
Drink,
do. So.
drinking your beers, scared of moths. That's what would be happening.
And spiders. So. Luckily, the missus has actually sorted out the spiders tonight, so we've had spider problem all bloody
Vinny,
week.
come
So,
on.
well, no, it's on the table. She actually got a glass and a piece of paper and got rid of the fucker. So,
Are you,
you know,
have you got any more plans to do any more fancy dress numbers? Because that was epic.
no, I ain't got no plans to do anything. To be honest, I weren't gonna um even bother coming live this weekend. To be honest, but then
Oh,
I saw Wayne's picture and it sort of right. I'm gonna have you fuckers. So.
next time, can you put a bit of suntan on me? I was really annoyed with Louise because she had a tan on it. It made me look dead pale in them pictures.
Well, it's your profile picture.
Oh no, but
I, 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 don't-
if
I
I'd have
don't, I
known
don't.
you were going to put me next to someone with a fucking suntan and have photoshopped it.
Well, that if you'd like to send me a tan picture of yourself, Claire, I will use the tan picture. Okay. If
All
Louise
right,
wants to send a better picture of herself, I will cut and paste that.
I'll have a
Unfortunately,
look
they
through
are
my
the best pictures
archives.
I've got of you. So
Yeah, fair dues.
I shouldn't say
No,
anything.
they were
The
brilliant.
pictures
I
I've
have
got
to
of you.
say, very funny.
But no, that's. I don't know. It's just. It was just a little poke back. It was just. Meh.
No, that's the Vinny I love. It's banter, it's fun, it's all in good fun. That's what we need. We need more fun around here.
Yeah. So, aren't you guys meant to be singing or something? Why aren't you doing your singing live tonight?
Well, we're doing the Sophie Duplant debate, and whoever loses, basically the vote at the end has got to sing with Kay. But
Okay.
obviously, with all this fucking shenanigans that's gone on,
That you
obviously,
put yourself into
well, I didn't kind of, we didn't really
numerous
ask
live.
Stuart to do what he did. If I'm totally honest with you, that wasn't really expected. I didn't see that coming. So, what with one thing and another, we've just not managed to do it yet. But we'll definitely be doing it. But of course, quite a bit of time's gone by now. So, I mean, I'm going back like 5, 6 weeks now since I fucking watched it. So I'm going to have to watch it again, or at least do a refresher because I can't fucking remember why I thought he was guilty.
Okay, I don't
So.
know any of that, so I ain't got a clue.
Yeah,
So
and
just
I
being live, I
can't
don't know.
lose against Louise because I'll never hear the fucking end of it, will I? So.
Well, you could just do a a, a quad of singers. You could both sing with Kay.
I've already done a live with Kay where I sang, to be fair.
Have you? Okay, I'm
I
glad I
think I
missed that
must have
one.
been fucking drunk or something happened that day because normally I've got to have 15 pints before I'll even go near a karaoke. But you know
Yeah,
what
see,
Kay's
I sing
like.
straight. I sing straight sometimes. If I'm during the day and now I'm singing straight.
I think it was the
Very
first
unusual.
time I ever did, and it was only because it was Kay, and you just can't say no to Kay, can you? I couldn't say no.
Well, you can, but you'd be
So.
a brave person
No,
to.
exactly. I've not got death wish. So, but actually, it was really good fun. I must say, it was good fun. I
Well,
won't
then,
listen to it again because I'll just cringe. But
well, then maybe you should just do a karaoke night. You
okay,
stream
who
live,
always wants
live
to do a
Matt
karaoke
karaoke.
night? Fucking, I
Yeah,
can
well, you
feel
need
the
to do a
copyright
karaoke night,
strikes
and you
coming
need to
in
change
from
it up.
everywhere.
So if you do a karaoke night and that, then and have everybody singing, and Yeah, you
Well,
could
I tell
come
you what,
together as a.
Vinny, if you promise to come on, I will arrange an SLM karaoke night, but you have to appear. How about that?
That's hard because I never know when I can go on and can't go on. So
Well, we've got the Sophie thing to do first, so we've got to get that out of the way. So
well, Christ.
I'll give you
You all
plenty of
promises like Chinny.
notice.
You all promises like Chinny. You all kind of like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but now we're just gonna have a rant and completely terrorise
Look, we've
this
been having a
person's head.
lovely conversation. Don't turn it now. Let's not fall out.
No, I'm just gonna have a little dig. So
Yeah, I noticed. Don't worry.
it's you guys you guys who decided to. I don't know. As I say, I don't.
Listen, there's loads of people out there that haven't had time to watch it themselves because it's actually 5 hours long, the whole series.
What the thing
So
you're watching? Okay.
yeah, the documentary. Well, there's actually two. There's one that's got 5 episodes and one that's got three. So it's not something you can just watch for an hour. So there's quite a few people that are saying, "Oh, I haven't finished watching it yet." So it's probably been a good thing that more people
Okay,
have
well, you
seen it.
might get it done before Christmas then.
You never know. You're looking a raffle.
Well, I wouldn't be watching it because I haven't got a clue what you're even talking about. So
Well, you should join in. It's actually really interesting. There was a
no,
murder.
no,
Oh,
no.
all right,
I
miserable
don't watch
sod.
murder stuff. I don't watch murder stuff. Why do I want to watch murder stuff?
You only watch Marvel films and things like that, don't you? And
I actually was watching Lethal Weapon before I came on. So
have you watched the series? I quite like the series until they got rid of the main bloke in it.
yeah, no, the missus and the boy like the series. I can't do the series because it isn't Murtaugh and Riggs. So
Yeah, at the end of it. Your name Martin Riggs? See, that was my age. All the lads, when I was like a teenager, used to make us sit through that every fucking weekend. Lethal Weapon 4 with what's the name in it.
Lethal Weapon. No, Lethal Weapon 3 is the worst one. So I went
Four's
to it.
really good. What's the one with the bird in it? Is she a bit ginger? Gina.
The 3 is the really bad one. It's like a comedy. It's just dreadful. 4 weren't too bad. 4's the one where they rescue all the Chinese people in the containers.
Yeah, but there was
And
a woman in it that kicked ass, weren't there, in that one?
yeah, that's Riggs's girlfriend, isn't it?
Yeah,
He meets her in the third one there, I think.
I
So
think that just might be that.
I only watched the first two. The third and the fourth are just a no go.
Yeah,
It's like Aliens. I do the first two, and anything after it's just crap. So
yeah, I was never. I'm no good with sci-fi. I can't suspend my disbelief. I just look at it and think that's fucking stupid. That could never happen.
yeah,
So
that's a woman view on it. Well, I don't like rom-coms, so I think they're a load of soppy shit, and I can't believe
yeah,
that anybody would watch that shit. So
I don't really like them, but I do like Notting Hill. I can't lie. I did like Notting Hill.
okay,
Oh,
yeah, I didn't mind Notting Hill actually.
and what's the one with the Wilson Phillips song, the funny one with the bridesmaids? I like that.
Oh no, no, no! I like the bit. Does she have a shit in the road?
Yeah,
That's the bit I like.
that's the best bit. I can't lie. Bit of toilet humour never goes amiss, does it?
No, 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 no. Toilet humour. So yeah, no. She has a shit in the middle of the road. I think so.
Yeah, don't they drink
I don't
something?
think I've
They've
ever
all
watched the
had
whole
they've all
film.
had laxatives, or they have something and they all start being ill, don't they, at the same time?
Okay, I couldn't tell you. I watched that bit and that was it. It was yeah. I don't watch that sort of shit. So no,
So we're from
it
the
is
same
Marvel stuff.
era. I love all the John Candy films and the
Oh,
Brat
Uncle
Pack
Buck.
and St Elmo's Fire and Ferris Bueller's Day Off and all them
Yeah,
kind of films. Brilliant.
I actually watched Mean Streets the other day for the first time.
The
I know
Goonies.
that was going back a bit further, but
The
Goonies
Goonies
is
is
cool.
one of my
Everyone done
favourite
the
films.
truffle shuffle. I could do the
Yeah.
truffle shuffle actually. I've
Princess
got the belt.
Bride. You see, they don't make films like that anymore. I've not seen a really good film in ages.
No, no, they don't because it's all CGI crap now.
Yeah, and I used to like See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Gene Hackman and Thingy Wilder.
Gene
You
Hackman,
know where
Richard
he
Pryor
was
and
yeah, Rich, he
Gene
was
Wilder.
blind and the other one was deaf.
Richard. It's Richard. Richard Byers. Not Richard
Yeah,
Byers.
Police Academy, all them films are funny.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything like that anymore, do they?
No, unfortunately not.
Mm.
So, but no, I don't know. I've watched loads of shit this week actually. So, mainly gangster films. So it was better than listening to you lot waffle on. So
Don't lie, you've got a top fan badge. Stop trying to get out of it, Vinny. I know what you're up
I
to.
don't know how I got it. I really don't know
We
how I
all
got
know
it.
how you got it, because you're a top fan.
How do I get it though? Because I hardly ever use that account because I get banned on it.
Well, don't give me that, Vinny. No one believes
No.
you. Don't start being like Stuart.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't know how I got it. You guys really think I spend my time listening to a load of bloody middle-aged
Well, we
women
don't
talk
think
shit?
that. Facebook thinks that, Vinny.
Yeah, well,
That's
Facebook
the
thinks I'm
thing.
your top fan, so it's obviously all the lives I do about Louise. That's why they
It
think I'm top
is.
fan.
Maybe they connect the names up.
Yeah, yeah. That's all
You've
the
been good.
information I
You've
give
stopped
Louise.
it now, actually. Don't start it up again.
I ain't starting nothing up. I never started nothing in the first place.
Listen, she's on your side. I'm going to get a bollocking after this, I hope you know.
Well, I know she could have swapped sides by now. She's probably swapped sides 5 or 6 times if she's in the comments.
I'm gonna drop off. I'm gonna let her come on in a minute.
Well, go on and fuck off. I've had enough of you now anyway, so
Yeah, I've
go
had
and do
enough
my
of you.
grip.
But nice talking to you anyway, Ben.
Yeah, no problem, Claire. You have a lovely evening.
All right, and you too.
See you
I
later.
don't know how to end this. Can you kick me off?
Yeah, I can beat you off, so that,
Boot
I
me
ain't got
off.
no problem with that, love. No problem with that at all.
Do me a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, then everyone say goodbye to Claire. 5, 4,
Bye.
3, 2, 1. And she's gone, and probably so is my sound. You're going to have to tell me, is my sound okay? Hey, I've got comments back now. Yay, I did have a couple of comments. I only had a couple of comments. Oh, actually, I don't know. No, I had a couple of comments. I got a clue. I've still got 43 of you on here, so didn't bore you all with Claire. So I'm sure there was something I wanted to roast Claire about, but I've completely lost it now. There was something. But I think she's just over-talked me, to be quite honest. I've just been out-talked on my own live. Dreadful. Actually, this is a bit of a problem because I can't see comments if comments are there. There. I've got no messages or nothing. Actually, see what I can do. I can watch myself, maybe. Can I watch myself? I watch myself. I don't want to watch me because I'm annoying. Oh, God. Your sound's gone. My sound's gone. Okay, right. Okay, I'm ending this. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to get a cup of tea.